guys, today's video is going to be talking about why you can't stop your affirmations, why there's technically no end to the conscious manifestation. You're always needing to be on top of your affirmations and your mental diet. And yes, it is okay to slip up, so please don't comment asking, well, you know, what if I this, what if I react? It's okay. You just need to persist with the affirmations and your mental diet. The key is to not give up or just stop the practices altogether. So today's video is going to be explaining to you guys why you need to maintain those practices no matter what position you're in, how you're feeling emotionally, mentally. Until you get your manifestation, you're going to need to do these, and I'll explain why. So please do thumbs up, subscribe, turn on the notification bell if you enjoy my manifestation content. If you'd like to see more videos from me about this, then please do so. I'd love the support and I'd love to continue making this content for you guys. I also have a lot of coaching offers currently. So all the different packages and prices and all the details are on my Instagram, linked below, LOA Coaching. On screen are a few options as well of some new extras I've added in. So please do get in touch with me via email, which is linked on my Instagram page and on the pictures I just put up, or through Instagram, through the DM. So yeah, let's just get started now. First point I want to touch on is obviously what I've kind of already said, and that is until you have your manifestation, you don't stop affirming. You just keep going. You do not stop the conscious manifestation. You have to keep living in the new story. It doesn't matter if you feel like you already believe it, it's coming together. You cannot just stop your affirmations and go back to normal life the way you were before. It doesn't work that way. You have to stay on top of your mental diet, because it's very easy to fall back into the old story. Even if you're in a really good place, if you start reacting to the 3D reality, that's going to put those negative thoughts into your mind, and if unchecked, it could happen repeatedly and really subtly. So you want to be on top of it. You want to make sure nothing pushes you back, delays you, or sabotages your manifestation, right? You don't want to fall back into a negative story. So it's important that until it is a fact in your reality, a literal fact that you have your SP, that she is committed to you, that you have the job, you've literally been paid for your promotion, you've been paid for your raise, whatever it is, it's a literal fact, right? And I guess we shouldn't look to 3D evidence, that's what I always say. But in this case, when it's a positive manifestation that you've literally wanted, that is when we can look to the 3D reality and say, okay, it's a fact, and you can stop consciously affirming. You still want to be aware of everything, because like I said, manifestation is for the rest of your life. It's not something you just stop. So you want to be aware of it and conscious of it, and just, you know, keep it in the back of your mind at that point. But until it is literally yours fully in every way in your life, in your 3D reality, you do not stop your consistent affirmations, your looping of the affirmations, your mental diet and flipping the negative thoughts. You don't stop that until you have it. Other coaches might say otherwise, but you know, I don't know, it doesn't really make sense to me. Unless you actually have your desire, why would you stop focusing on it and creating it in your mind? Because it'd kind of be like writing 3/4 of an essay and then saying, this is really good work, you know, I've made my point, I've done a really good job, I know I'm gonna get, you know, top marks on this, or it's gonna be amazing, everyone's gonna love it, and then you just don't finalize it with a final chapter. Like, it just doesn't make sense. You haven't done the full work because it's not fully completed, right? So that's how I perceive it, and my advice is better safe than sorry. You know, why stop affirming? It's a positive practice. So personally, as a coach, my advice is don't stop until you get what you want. So linking on from that, a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I see people asking questions or telling me that they're in the Sabbath state, that they're, you know, mentally believing it, they feel really good about their desire, and, you know, they feel like they can stop affirming. No, if you do that, you're not going to be able to guarantee your desired outcome. Yes, you are in a good state, and yes, you are having a lot of positive thoughts and very few negative thoughts, but without putting in the conscious practices, how are you going to guarantee that you get your desire, you know? Because if you stop focusing on it, you may be at that 90% mark, but you need to push yourself a little bit further just to 100% guarantee you get it. It's the law of assumption. You have to get it. You know, there's no other way. If you persist and create assumptions about what you want, you have to receive that in your physical reality. So why take the chance? Why not just keep going? If you already feel so great, you can feel even more great by continuing to affirm. So regardless of the positive mental state you've reached, that's a sign that you've conformed and you're doing really, really well. Your own mind has changed and adapted, and you're putting in the right work. It's all coming together. So yes, it's perfect, and congratulate yourself and feel really good, but keep going. Maintain that state. Maintain it until you literally get it. And I don't mean until your SP texts you. I mean until you get the full result that you want. If it's your SP texting you a very specific paragraph, don't stop until you get what you want. Doesn't have to be verbatim, but I'm saying if there's something very specific you want, keep going until you literally get that. Don't settle for breadcrumbs. Don't settle for, he said something he said something that implies that he loves me, or he suggested it, or he gave me this look. No, if you want to hear the words from him verbally, I love you, you keep going until you get that, right? So no matter what your mental state is, how positive you feel, if you feel in Sabbath state, if you feel that you've reached the pinnacle, that you believe in it, it's coming, that's fantastic, and you're in a great state, and you're probably going to have a very, very minimal mental diet at that point, but you don't give up. You keep affirming, you keep focusing, you keep creating it. A mental diet is a permanent fixture. So beyond just the actual manifestation of something, you have to be aware of your mental diet. And now that I've spoken about it a lot, and whether you have or haven't, applied it yet, hopefully you guys have, you have some knowledge about what it is and what it does. So now you can be aware and conscious of your thoughts. And this doesn't mean, you live a miserable life where all you do is manifestation practices for hours a day. It's just about being aware of it. It's a habit you learn. The same way, your parents taught you maybe not to litter. It's always in the back of your mind. You don't think about it. You don't spend hours obsessing over it, writing it out, or telling everyone, remind me to pick up litter, remind me to pick up litter. You don't do that. Not pick up litter, but remind me not to litter. So you just don't do that. It's just in the back of your mind. It's a belief, it's a learned habit, it's a positive trait that has been instilled in you by your parents. Same thing with a mental diet. You've taught yourself. Go back and watch my mental diet videos if you're still not 100% sure, but you guys have some knowledge about it. And when you reach a point of practicing it consistently, it just becomes part of your life. You might not get it 100%, and that's totally fine, but you're aware of it. So you never ever give it up. Maybe in the future you have an argument with SP, you don't do well at work, you have an issue at work. It should come up in the back of your mind. You should be aware of it. Oh, I could manifest my way out of this. I could do affirmations for this situation. I can turn it around. I remember the coach Alexa saying this, or I remember I, heard this about mental diets. Let me just flip it back into a positive story. So it should become quite ingrained in your mind, and you need to be consistent with it, because doing it just once, it's not good enough. You need to be consistent with it, and then it should come up much more naturally throughout your life. But again, it's more of a permanent fixture. If you have problems in your life, you need to be applying a mental diet. So essentially, a mental diet is to control your negative thoughts and positively influence your thought patterns throughout your life, throughout any situation. Yeah, I've written down here just thought patterns in your life. So again, you don't have to be 100% aware of it and practicing it every single moment of the day. Just when you notice you're spiraling or reacting badly, try and teach yourself to get into that habit of, okay, flipping it back, or even just telling yourself, no, I'm not going to worry about this. It can be as simple as stopping the thought in its tracks. So yeah, you apply it all throughout your life. Any issues that come up for any area, any topic, you can manifest the change. So a mental diet is a permanent fixture, and it's a really positive practice and positive thought pattern to stop the negative thoughts in its tracks and control them in a way where, again, you're not controlling your entire day, you're not living your life based on just a mental diet, but you're aware of it and you know how to use it. But finishing up and wrapping up this video, I wanted to talk about how if the 3D shows you negative elements, negative experiences, whatever you see, it might not even be a personal one, you might see someone else doing something in public, that kind of goes against your desire. You could potentially fall back into those negative thought patterns, into the old story. You could spiral, panic, and yes, you're feeling great overall, and most probably no, that won't, ruin your manifestation or change your manifestation. You'll most probably still get it. but why take the risk? You could fall back into those patterns, so why not guarantee that you don't by every single day practicing the positive thinking, thinking from the new story, you know, until you literally have your manifestation in your hands, right in front of you, living it every single day. Until that point, really try and, you know, create the new story as consciously and in the most focused way that you can. Life won't be perfect, so there will be moments, even if your SP has conformed or is perfectly conforming right this second, they may still exhibit hot and cold behavior. They may still do or say things that annoy you. They might reference the third party and it might send you into an absolute panic. You might start questioning your entire manifestation, even though they love you and they're taking you out on a date. If they bring up the third party, for example, even if they're not together, whatever, you could spiral. So why not prevent those negative patterns from rearing their ugly heads again by consciously practicing it every day, right? Even just a little bit. When it comes to that, if you're already in a relationship and you have your full manifestation perfectly, but something comes up, such as the topic of the third party, a mental diet, right? So you're in the practice, you've used the advice I've just given you about mental diet, you can instantly flip it, turn it back around. So there will be moments, but if you can turn it back around, flip it into a positive story, stop it in its tracks in whatever way, then you're totally fine. Nothing will be ruined or affected or delayed. But I'm just trying to show you guys the reality that life won't be perfect. You can manifest incredible, amazing experiences and have very, very few problems in life. But as a human in this world, we're probably never going to have totally positive assumptions and beliefs. I feel like life would be very, very boring and monotone in that kind of utopian life. So I personally don't want that. I'm fine. I'm happy and looking forward to solving problems in my life and having a few hurdles and challenges. That's what makes life interesting, exciting, a little crazy, and, you know, whatever. That's just how I accept my life to be. And you don't have to, you can do whatever you want, but I'm just saying, unless you create the belief, your life won't be perfect. So you want to be able to have those practices at your fingertips to apply, to even prevent the negative things from happening. So to finalize, you guys need to keep applying these practices until you get your manifestation. Yes, you can minimize them. Like I said before, you can do a more minimal mental diet, because obviously when you're in such a positive mindset, you won't have many negative thoughts at all. So your mental diet will be much easier to implement, but until you get your manifestation, you keep going, you keep affirming, you stay on top of your thoughts. So I hope this made sense and gave you guys some more clarity. Please do thumbs up, subscribe, turn on the notification bell if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.